There's an almost debonair quality to Roman Reigns that fits his status as WWE's big dog. The big dog! The big dog! He's always courteous in interviews, has come through serious personal strife unscathed, has perpetually wet hair, and is way more consistent in-ring than some on social media would like people to believe. Don't at me. There's just one thing missing. No, this isn't a deja vu whinge about how Roman must turn heel. It's a small change, and yet it's one that'd make him so much more effective to the product overall. 9 others, lucky for me, find themselves in the same boat as Reigns. With that in mind, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture, and these are 10 WWE stars, one tweak away from perfection. Number 10, Braun Strowman. The tweak, try out that elusive title run. He's been a Money in the Bank winner, a Greatest Royal Rumble victor, and even tag team champion with a 10-year-old boy. But that's about it for Braun Strowman's 3-year singles career in WWE, aside from, well, flipping anything he can get his hands on. Though Braun has had title shots, he's always come up short against Brock Lesnar whenever he's been booked opposite him, despite the fact that images like this give Vince a downstairs accident. WWE seem tentative about pushing Strowman to that next level, and they're blatantly unsure about how they'd even begin booking him as a world champion. But why not give Braun a run as Universal Champion later in 2019 to see if he has the skills to make it work? If he succeeds, WWE have a new WrestleMania headliner on their hands, and if he fails, so what? He'd just go back to doing what he's doing now anyway. Maybe he could flip the ring? Number 9, Drake Maverick. The tweak, ditch 205 Live. Becoming 205 Live general manager was a nice way to introduce Drake Maverick to the WWE audience. Nevertheless, his work alongside R-Truth in the new 24/7 division, and here's a quick reminder who the inaugural champ of that was, has been nothing short of astounding. Drake has become one of the most entertaining characters WWE has, and he shouldn't be pulling double duty at this point. 205 should have gone on the same scrap heap as his association with the AOP, and that time he pissed himself. Full focus must go on the 24/7 silliness. It's where Maverick excels, and he's at his best when he's cut loose as a ludicrous fish out of water playing British sitcom star in WWE's attempt to make Hollywood magic. He might even get the chance to get his hole too. Number 8, Shinsuke Nakamura. The tweak, spotlight him as an elitist too good for WWE. The natural story for Shinsuke Nakamura has been staring WWE right in the face all along. Nobody needs to be a genius to figure out that WWE life has never really clicked for Shin. Ugh. If Drake Maverick appears as a fish out of water, then Nakamura is a whale dying a slow death in a tank far too insular for him. He'd be damn good as a arrogant elitist who believed his star power outside WWE was responsible for raising the profile of the Intercontinental title. Now, the McMahon family would have to poke fun at themselves a bit here, so we can probably chuck this on the big pile of, never gonna happen. But still, if Naka was allowed to speak freely about how he's using the company to pad his bank balance with an eye to the future, it could be sparkling. I mean, they did this back in the mid-90s with Jeff Jarrett, and he was using the WWF as a springboard to a bloody country music career. Number 7, Alistair Black. The tweak, let his actions do the talking. Black's demonic appearance, hushed tones, and knock 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 promos are an old-school throwback to the days when character trumped in-ring skill. Here's the thing, Alistair has more in-ring skill than most, and it's a complete waste that he's currently doing more talking than wrestling. That Black Mass finisher is over as hell, and even WWE's casual fanbase can already tell Black is one to watch when he starts throwing strikes and working elaborate sequences. Promos are fine, but the way he speaks and what he says is absolute bollocks. It'd be more satisfying to see Black ditch the fancy suits, stop speaking in riddles like he's trying to be Bray Wyatt from 4 years ago, and start booting the ever-loving crap out of all who stand before him. Number 6, Elias. The tweak, a babyface turn. WWE were onto something with Elias in 2018, and the reactions he was receiving from crowds made it look like a babyface turn was imminent. When that didn't happen, a familiar flaw was spotted in WWE's formula. They are woefully inefficient at seizing the moment and accepting the direction fans crave. Look, lots could see that Elias possesses natural charisma by the bucket load, and they wanted in on the buzz of seeing him soar to new heights. So, understandably but still regrettably, creative shied away from their warmth and made Elias a second-rate heel henchman. By turning him babyface and getting a feel for how underrated Elias is, WWE would be doing everyone, including themselves, a favour. He's been heel for far too long, and it's time for a change. But what about Shane McMahon? Said no one ever. Number 5, Bayley. The tweak? Turn her into a heel around adults and a babyface to kids. We'll hold that right there. Obviously, we recorded this before Raw and SmackDown and, yeah, all that sort of thing happened. So, I don't know, should we call this fantasy booking? No? We're not allowed to do fantasy booking anymore. Right, well, how about we just pretend Raw and SmackDown didn't happen? Yeah, that'll do it. All have a younger relative who adores a character aimed at them, but we can't stand. I hate you, Peppa Pig. You are a selfish, clueless pig. SmackDown Women's title reign or not, it's true that Bayley's happy sweetness hasn't translated well onto WWE's main roster over the years. Her character is just too one-dimensional, and it's nigh on impossible for adults to relate to the side pony or girl next door vibes. We have bills to pay and kale to eat and all that bollocks. Meanwhile, young children lap it up and treat Bayley like their icon. This could create a curious contrast for WWE. If Bayley delivered even one cutting promo on adults for occasionally booing her and then said she was shunning them in favour of performing exclusively for children, she'd have some zest again. Think Bret Hart 1997 and his biting comments on America. Back then, Hart was able to become top heel in the US but retain his babyface roots everywhere else. It'd give Bayley a much-needed boot up the arse character-wise, and in an instant, she could be the hero of youth who spits on natural cynicism that comes with age. God, I'm old and tired. Number 4, Kevin Owens. The tweak? Lean on his comedic timing more. Right, Kevin Owens is piss funny. Back when he was teaming with Chris Jericho, laughs were a weekly occurrence, and the same playful digs he's aimed at Shane were thrown into early feuds against John Cena and Roman Reigns too. When it suits, KO is bloody hilarious. WWE could do a lot worse than letting him explore this more. It's been said that comedy has no place at the top of the card, but that's not strictly true. Wasn't it funny when Jinder was champ? No. Anyway, Jericho once had tears in fans' eyes for using phrases like ass clown, and nobody took him less seriously during heated matches because of it. There's no reason why Owens couldn't do the same. Number 3, Drew McIntyre. The tweak? Become a lone wolf. See if you can spot the pattern here. Since being called up from NXT, Drew has teamed with Dolph Ziggler, Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, Elias, and Shane Sodding McMahon. It's excessive to continually program him as a bodyguard-like menace when he'd be so wonderfully watchable on his own. No more temporary alliances and no more booking him as a challenger before babyfaces meet the final boss, which of course is Shane McMahon. Drew can talk. He looks like $1,000,000 and he can work with all shapes and sizes, and he's vastly experienced at this stage in his career. At 34, he's in his physical prime, has confidence and drive in abundance, and shouldn't be anyone's lackey. Number 2, Sasha Banks. The tweak? Reassume her NXT great. Hi, sorry, me again. Once again, we recorded this before Raw and... Sorry, can we just fast forward through this one? Yeah? Number 1, Roman Reigns. The tweak, embrace his locker room leader role on screen. Like him or loathe him, and if you don't like him now, you never will, Roman Reigns is publicly viewed as a true successor to The Undertaker's locker room leader birth. Younger wrestlers look up to him as a shining example of how to succeed in the organization. He's made the cover of Wet Hair Quarterly, and he's been named an inspiration by so many in interviews. And yet, for some unknown reason, that isn't regularly explained on screen. There are infrequent examples, of course. His latest storyline with Buddy Murphy and the way Reigns cleared the locker room to talk privately with him before acknowledging his skills post-match the next week is a classic case of what WWE should be doing. That put over Roman's status behind the curtain and elevated a new talent. This is Reigns' job now. He's a bona fide star who could maybe cross over into the mainstream thanks to his recent work on the greatest movie ever, Hobbs and Shaw. The Rock pulls a bloody helicopter. What more do you want? Anyway, where was I? WWE can use Roman's celebrity and prestige to enhance the careers of others around him, and they can do it way more often than once in a blue moon. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. Thanks for watching. I've been Adam from WhatCulture, and I'll see you soon.